Okay, welcome guys. It's 10:07 a.m., a little late. Been under the weather last couple days, but we're gonna do these visualizations today. um, Sorry about that. Don't forget to check out more financial models, templates, and tools at smarthelping.com. We've got all kinds of things from SaaS and uh, platform as a service and all kinds of recurring revenue models, real estate underwriting tools, industry-specific tools, joint venture distribution waterfalls, accounting trackers and tools, HR management trackers, personal finance, Google Sheet architectures for a bunch of different uses, and sales pipeline, CRM management, and Google Sheets. Also valuation. So the property management template is looking great. We're going to finish the visualizations on that today, and that will be included in the SaaS bundle because property managers uh, usually have some kind of SaaS software that they're essentially deploying and charging a monthly fee for. Usually that fee is in the term of a percentage of the rent under management. It's going to fall in the real estate bundle as well, obviously, property management. It's going to be in the startup financial models as well. And I believe one more. Oh, yeah, the services, service businesses. It'll fall into this one as well. Okay, let's do a quick sound check. Sound check. Sounds good. Doing visualizations today for the property management biz KPIs. All right. Now we finished this. It took 5 full streams to finish this from a blank Excel sheet to what we have here. It's all really fully functional. It works awesome. I'm happy with how everything turned out. Not much was compromised in terms of how revenue and expenses are forecasted. Is very flexible. Um, we got all the financial statements in here. Everything's just working awesome. So let's get into the visuals. And rate. So we're gonna do some standard visuals like revenue, EBITDA. We're also gonna see if we can get some advanced KPIs in here as well. I just want to double check that these charts that were in here that came from the other workbook. I thought, okay, I knew there was some issue. Let me cut this out. Yeah, these things stayed even though I pasted over with the other things, and that was causing an issue before. I'm glad I found that. You can always tell if you open up your Excel sheet and you've got a yellow thing that says anything about enabling content or fixing something, then there is something afoot. And I did see that earlier when I opened it up today to make sure these are all good still. And the charts are always the hardest to find because they're not, you can't just find them with a find and replace. Okay, I think we're good. I think that was the only issue. Let's actually double check that by reopening it up. So if I go back to here, property management. Yeah, okay, that's better. So see how open and clean there? All right, visuals. So we want revenue, and we're also going to look at the formatting of what might look good for a property management business. But let me get the data in here first. And we've got all kinds of revenue sources as well that we're going to put in here. we've got the annual detail. We've got revenue for type 1 customers, revenue for type 2. We have property management fees for each of those, onboarding fees, application fees, repair and maintenance. So we'll break all those down into their own charts as well. We've got customer counts over time. I'm also going to do on a monthly basis, we can do some KPIs. Let's see, probably average revenue per unit. Average monthly revenue per unit is a good one. We can also do average gross profit per unit, or actually, you know what? I think we could honestly do revenue, gross profit, and EBITDA per unit. And we'll see what else we end up coming up with. So let's first start with top line. So the most important things always are revenue and EBITDA. EBITDA is just kind of like operating profits. We'll do cash flow as well. Okay, so how do we want to format this? Make it look really nice. These bars could be a different color. How do I want to do these? Whoop. I don't care about the outline. Maybe a kind of a gray tone. These need to be wider as well. So to make them wider, we actually just reduce the gap width. And we'll call this annual revenue. Let's also get a little bit fancy with the formatting of the numbers. So usually if you just go straight to data labels like this, it'll show you give you the full. Well, honestly, these bars are thick enough that's fine. We could round it a little bit if we do format. We'd have to add a new one though. I'm trying to think if it makes sense to round these or not, because there's going to be obviously every business is different. So you might not even be in the millions, you might be in the thousands or hundreds of thousands, and then it would make sense. So I know there's one that automatically formats it to thousands, millions, depending on what it is. Let me see if I could find that real quick. Formatting number to thousands, millions. There's this the code that does everything. I'm trying to see which one. I can't remember where it is. This might be it. No, this is just simple. There's a big long text string that you can do that will, depending on if the number is in thousands or millions, it will do the rounding and everything. Okay, this looks like it. This looks like it, I think. So if we paste that into our sheet here, yeah, there we go. So you can see it's doing one decimal for millions, and then if let's say the first year was 250,000, we go back, yeah, now it does 250K. Perfect. Yeah, that's the best formatting for this. Okay, so we've got revenue. EBITDA is going to be the same deal. And let's see if it saved. Oh, see if it saved that format option. It did not. Oh wait, there it is. No, hold on. Format. Do I not have it saved? Should be custom, and I should be able to select that one. Ah, there it is. Okay. Also, we could put like a fill it. We could make it like rounded edges. Oh, that's kind of cool. With the gray. 1, 2, 3. Or do we just do just a darker gray? We'll make the shape rounded. Oh, no, no, I don't want to change the number format. Can I just change the shape? Huh. Okay, and now how did I get that grayscale gradient? 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 2. I think it's that one. It looks a little different actually. Maybe it was the lighter one. Let's try the lighter one on this. That, and then go gradient. Okay. Where do we want to make the bars? Let's go actually a little bit darker. Ooh, that looks nice. This is EBITDA. Now on the outline, what would a white look like? I don't know, it's kind of crazy. Oh, no, we don't want jet black. Let's go outline black. Here we go. Honestly, you might want to make this a little bit darker. Oh yeah. Oh, now the grid lines aren't visible though. So that's the same as the grid lines. We could go one darker. Yeah, that's nice. That's still all legible. Okay, I really like that. Let's do cash flow. Oh, add cash flow per year. Okay, looking good. Now let's try to get these things formatted. So on here, I believe it's the second one down. Yeah, okay. We got our format in here. custom, select, perfect. Uh, let's make this axis on the low end. Whoops. No reason on these to make the axis low because, well, actually, yes, for EBITDA it could be negative, so that one also needs to be low just in case. Uh, Obviously, revenue is never going to be negative. Okay, ooh, I don't like this though. And let's format these, make the font a little bit bigger. 11. Yeah, we do not like this. That is not good. Let's go back to this thing. See what this looks like. I feel like the red though, if we do this in red, it's gonna look odd. Let's try it. Yeah, no, I don't like that. But for a negative, we need it to work still. This does not work for a negative. Okay, because it's saying greater than 0 or greater than. If a negative format doesn't change, so it's like 1500. Okay, yep, that's the issue I'm having right here. Right, show up as entered. The custom format for numbers less than 0 is general. No, I don't want to put I cannot put VBA in here. So it's saying that you could use this for a negative or this for a positive, but can you do one string? I get this. So it says use essentially style 1 or style 2 if it's positive or negative, but I don't want to, I'm not putting in VBA into the workbook. It's just not happening. It doesn't transfer to Google Sheets at all, and it's just a mess. So there's got to be a way. Why won't it let me go back? There we go. For positive and negative. It's got to be something that works. Okay. Yep. This looks like it might help. Whoa. All right. Let's try this thing. It's a big long one. Let's see if this works. Kind of. Not really, though. I mean, this is obviously not like this. You can combine the use of custom format with Excel's custom format. Give us the following 3 custom formats. It looks like, man, I don't know if there's going to be an easy solution here. And trust me, people who work in Excel know this. You can go down a lot of rabbit holes when you're trying to format stuff and use custom number formatting to make the charts look really nice. Yeah, I mean, this, I really wish this would work. I get it because to make it a thousands or millions, you have to use the greater than stuff. This looks like it should work the less than that. Do this format, less than that, do that format. It appears like it should work. I wonder if it has, there's two separate lines. Let's try this. Yeah. Okay, so it does technically work if you just use the one code, but that's not what I need. I need, obviously, it has to work for positive and negative numbers. This is close. Come on, somebody's got to figure this out. Anybody in the chat? No, guys. Nope. How to form a number of thousand millions. Yep, this is what we want, but we want it to work for negative numbers. Okay. I mean, so far it looks like you have to have VBA or else it's not going to work. Is what I'm seeing. Let's see what's this saying here. No, this is the same formatting. Let's try this. Okay. If this doesn't work, then we're just not going to do it for, we'll just probably have it like this. Oh, that almost works. You know what? That's good enough. That is good enough. We'll do that for that, and same with for these, because this could also be negative. All right, which one was that? Let me make sure. Let's check. So if this is negative, perfect. Perfect. That'll work. That'll do it. All right. See, a little bit of work sometimes, but hey, we got it. It's just doing thousands, like 1.5 million is 1,500K. I'm fine with that as long as it's better than doing the full thing out. All right. Oh, let's do the fill here. So I think I did this top one. Gradient 3. All right. Outline. Okay, so far so good. What else do we want to do here? So we can do probably unit count. No, wait. Let's do expense summary. So for expense summary, we'll have just our regular expense categories. Actually, let's do variable costs. And then G&A. Sales and marketing. R&D. Okay, oh, this needs. So we're gonna do a stacked bar here, so we can see we don't. I don't know if we want to put data labels in here or not. Well, let's see. So these will all be positive, so we can just use the regular. Like this one is fine. Let's see what this looks like. Um, Now color-wise, see if we go down the line here on this one. Well, you can't even see the numbers here on this dark one. Maybe on this one we just do like a. Well, we could lighten up the text. Okay, that works. So we've got expense summary. You can see total expenses, and oh, we need definitely a legend in here for that, so you can see what you're seeing. Okay, and these are annual figures. All right, we've got our main items, all revenue, EBITDA, cash flow, expense summary. What else do we want to put in here high level? Not really worried about that, sir. Oh, we definitely want units under management for sure. So let's put that in there. I'm really liking the formatting of these charts too. We almost have enough room. Yeah, we do. Let's actually make this 3 columns wide. All right, so units under management. And then I made these number 2. Okay, and then data labels. I believe we can also do that custom formatting for these. No, no, we don't need it actually. We can just do the number formatting's fine. Gradient. Yep, that'll work. Okay. And remember, the revenue, where we're defining units under management, we define our yearly goal and the percentage of that goal achieved in each of the months of each year. If you want to, let's say, double this goal, then you could put in, like in year 2, then you would just double the percentages. So you do 20, 20, 20, 20, and you'd end up with 200% of your goal. Or for year 3, you could do the same thing, even raise it higher, but it's all based on this reference number. Or you could go in here and manually put in the expected clients you want to add each month, and then the average units that a client has, which in your clients are landlords or people who own real estate that need you to manage their rent. All right, so far I'm liking this a lot. I like these colors. All right, so units under management. So an advanced metric I wanted to do was average revenue per unit, average EBITDA or earnings per unit, and oh wait, no, EBITDA and then average gross profit per unit. Or we could do these per unit. We could do it per customer. I'm trying to think what or we could do both. We could also do it for type 1, we could do it for type 2, or just in aggregate. I think maybe an aggregate, and then we'll do um, how do I want to do this? Let's go average revenue per unit and average revenue per customer. Because those are always going to be positive numbers. So we do revenue is total revenue divided by unit count. Wait, did I do customers the first one or units? Units, okay. So saying on average you're making $330 per unit. And then that's over 6 customers and $8,250 per month per customer. I'm just looking at the formatting on this. Yeah, I think that's fine. We'll just do, let's do this for these as well. Okay, we drag that over, show what it is over time. Why are we 0? In the final year? Oh, whoops, I'm off by a column. Oh, that would make sense. So I went to column E. These need to start over here. There we go. Perfect. Okay, let's get these up here. So we've got, now we'll do a line chart instead for this one, because it's monthly. Try and get these positioned really good. Sometimes the visuals are the only thing people end up looking at, so it's really important we make these look nice. Alright, so select data, and we'll just do, now, I believe we can show these on one chart without an issue. And then we'll put the months. Okay, now let's format this thing. So first of all, this needs to be formatted into months, not years. Go every 3 months. This needs to go back down to 9. Give these a negative 30 angle. Why is this not working? Somehow number lock was off. Okay, now this is really hard to read as it is. Let's change this chart type to a line chart. Remove data labels. No point in showing data labels for every single one. This is still too dense. Let's go. This needs to be every 3 months. I thought I changed that. There we go. Okay, that's way better. Now it's actually hard. Okay, we're going to split this up. So average average revenue per unit, and then average revenue per customer are going to be different. So let's remove this one. Okay, so there's your average revenue per unit. This is monthly. We don't need a data label. And let's just make this match the rest of the chart. Okay, that looks fine. And then we'll do the same thing here, but average monthly revenue per unit and then average monthly revenue per customer. So a customer is like, okay, you signed on one landlord. A unit is, okay, you signed on one landlord and they have 300 units. So that's a difference here. We got to add back, what am I adding here? Customer. Okay. And then remove per units. So that's great. Give this to outline. Our dates went away. Let's redo the dates. Now we also have tons more charts to do. We have revenue by type per customer. There's also different revenues for each customer. So let's jump into all of that. So we go back to our bar chart, and we're going to do. Let's do. What do we want to do? Revenues type 1 versus type 2. We can start there. And type 1 and type 2 are just the ability to show if you have property or customers that are, of one configuration and then customers that are of another configuration, it's giving you those two options if needed. Revenue by customer type. And then we can also segment it by revenue per type of revenue. So we've got rents, property management fees, and then all these other fees. And we could break that down into the customer types as well. Where am I? The question is, do we want a side by side for these or stacked? Oh, that's hard to see apart too. So let's get our legend in here as well. By the way, guys, I'm fighting some kind of sickness. 2 days ago, like two nights ago, I got real sick, and then yesterday I was kind of under the weather. Today I'm fighting it back. I feel like it's a lot easier. And if it's COVID or whatever, I don't know. Last year I got it really bad. This year, hopefully I'm now getting it a lot less bad, and I've already fought it off in a couple days. But I'm still a little phlegmy. Let's just do the stacked here. And let's make these so you can really see the difference. And then we'll get into our cool looking formatting for the data labels that we added earlier. If you were here, I was messing around with this for a bit, but now we have a custom format. For both of these, we could put it. Now, I actually figured out how to do the custom formatting so it shows in millions or thousands depending on what the number is. And I figured out how to make it look decent when it's a negative as well, which was difficult to figure out. So that was fun. Now these you can't really see. I need to format this better. Let's give these a fill light gray with a gradient 3. Same with this. Man, these charts are looking really gray. I love the grayscale. We'll have to change these to gray too to match. And this. All right, is this good? With the dark black and then or the black and then the gray. Or we'll make it a little bit lighter. Oh, also we want these to be round. Oh no, it can't round it. I forgot. So for one thing about these is they can't do rounded edges with this formatting for some reason. I don't know why. Let's do a rounded edge and then go back to the number formatting and try to reselect it. No, it just won't work. That's a weird bug. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm just checking something real quick on my phone. So we have revenue per customer type. We're going to do revenue by type of revenue or revenue channel. So let's get that in there. Annual revenue by channel. So again, I like these because this revenue number, top line 5.5 million, is the same as these totals, and then this is going to be the same. So these revenue figures are all showing the same number, but it's breaking it down in different ways. The final one I'll do is going to be breaking down the individual revenue by customer types into their own channels, which will then be different. So for this, we'll do the consolidated, and we'll show consolidated property management fees here. And then there's also potentially onboarding fees, application fees, and repair and maintenance fees. Oh, there we go. Now, why are the onboarding fees going down? I'm gonna have to look at my assumptions and make sure that's correct. And that's one thing you'll see when you do visuals is it sometimes gives you patterns that you wouldn't normally be able to see. Now watch, let's do a cool chart on this where we have, we're going to do lines with markers not stacked. So it's going to show each revenue on its own. No data labels. But we're going to give them some nice, well, you'll see, just one second. So why are property management or onboarding fees going down? Ah, I see. So for type 2, I think we stopped adding properties or customers. Type 1, we still have customers though. So if I go to my consolidate, okay, that's why I went down. Let me just double check the revenue on type 2. Did I stop adding customers? Oh, I did, okay. So let's just put these as the same as the first 3 years. Just so it's nice and smooth. All right, perfect. Perfect. Now for formatting on this, so I like the idea of a line chart that shows each one separately. Now we could stack it. Well, you know what? Well, let's just stack it. Let's stack it. Then we have all the stacked revenue stuff looking the same, showing the same total, but you can see it broken down between revenue types, total revenue, and now revenue by channel. I believe it should be the same. Or are we almost to 7 million? Oh yeah, 6.8 million. Okay, yeah, that's the same number. Now, for this gray scale, let's see, we're not going to put data labels into here because 4 is too many. But we can put in the formatting here. Give them an outline. Okay. Make the property management fees the one that's the, well, do we want to make this one black actually? That's probably going to be the biggest in most cases. And then this could be like a light or darker. We need one that's really light. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so you can see the revenue by channel. Whoops. Let's make this one a little bit closer to that. There we go. Maybe this can be a little bit lighter actually. All right. Revenue by channel. Monthly revenue per customer. Average monthly revenue per unit. This is revenue. Average monthly revenue per customer. Yeah, that's right. Units under management. And visuals allow you to tell a story easily. We want to put units under management to show like, okay, we're going to scale these units in this way, those units in that way. So we definitely want to show units under management. And here we'll do a line chart. But what we want to show is both types. So we go over to our annual detail and we get the units, ending unit count type 1. And ending unit count type 2. Now what that allows you to say is tell a little bit of a story on what unit types you're onboarding over time. And now I could do these cool star things or diamond things for the markers. So format data series. Where's my marker? Here it is. I like a diamond. We'll do 7. And this could be filled with like a gray with a black outline. How's that look? Maybe a 8. Make this font a little bit smaller. Okay, and then, well, the question is, do we want, yeah, I think we keep that in there. Okay, let's do these now. So marker, built in, diamond, 8. Fill was, what do we do for the this one, I think? Border, black. Okay, those are the same, good, just making sure. So units under management by customer type. Now, put our legend in here. And those are too similar. We need to change the outline of this. Needs to be either black and then this needs to be lighter. Almost looks white. Try this one. And then now our outline is all messed up for the marker. Needs to be black. Okay. And then this, we did do a fill. I really wish I could make these rounded edges. So the font's 8.5. Let's change this to, let's just go to 8. Okay, that's good enough. You can see definitely the difference between the two. You can see the numbers. All right, well, we've got revenue, EBITDA, units under management, cash flow, annual expense summary, average monthly revenue per unit, average monthly revenue per customer. Now, why is this starting up high and then going down as we scale? Well, let's look at our revenue assumptions. So when we start off here, we're adding 10%, 10% of 30, 10% of 30 on both of these. And our revenue is based on percentage of rents. So you're starting to build up customers over time. And the rent you're collecting, let's just look at the actual raw numbers. So it starts at 330 and then it kind of stabilizes around 100, 120. But it's so high right up front because, well, let's see, why is it? Aren't these numbers the same? This is why visualizations are good. It really makes you think about what's going on. So total revenues, these are identical. Well, I guess in month 2 you have added double the amount of units and but you haven't doubled your revenue. Why is that? Because application fees are yes. So application fees are, this is why, exactly why. Look at our logic here for application fees. We have 100% we're saying that new onboarded units, 100% of them require applicants and then average of 3. So the first month of every onboard is going to be a little bit higher, and then it stabilizes. If we were to put this at the same as the ongoing at 1%, then these visuals, and let's do it for the other one as well. Now it's a little, you're going from 180 to 111. Still a big drop in the first couple months. What else is going on here? One-time setup fees. Let's put those at 0. The retention rate's pretty high, so that's not going to be a big difference. Oh yeah, well look at that. Yeah, so that was, I mean, the one-time setup fees were probably a bigger factor in that chart than the application fees, but and there you go. So that's allows you to see the numbers at a high level and see patterns of the business. So let's undo this. Okay, so that makes sense. So that we have revenue by channel, revenue by customer type. We have units under management by customer type. I want to do a monthly cash flow. We have the annual, but let's look at a monthly. You can really see the break even at that way. So if we just look at cash flow, that's essentially after everything has happened. Okay. Remember, we made the exit value based on a multiple of revenues. Let's put this down to 1x. You're saying it's 1x your 12x revenue. I'll do a dark gray. Okay. This is monthly cash flow. Now there's cash flow. There's also cash position of the business. Now, if you're doing it including equity, you would add the owner's equity. We're just doing it on operations or, uh, you know, pre-equity. Otherwise, it would just solve for 0. So we're going to do cumulative cash flow. And this is where you see the break even better. And right when you hit above 0, that's when your operational profits, or after all the cash flow, this is where you're getting repaid on the equity, or when the business generates enough cash flow to pay for that. Okay, we'll give this a dark border. Cumulative cash flow. It's kind of not super clear. You have to look here to find where 0 is, but it's good enough. This is month-to-month cash flow. Now, if we did not include the exit value or terminal value, which you can option not to, now you can see a little bit easier what's going on with the cash flow. This big OpEx is just, I put in some random numbers here. You know, we can zero this. Let's just zero this out, actually, which is fine. There. Now you can see a little bit more of what's going on just from the operations and no big, random CapEx expenditures and the cumulative cash flow. Now you might have CapEx like for property management, maybe servers and stuff like that, but this is probably more than what it's going to be. You're probably not. I mean, you could be buying your own building if you really need some office space and you're for whatever reason, but the general base operations of a property management company, is pretty lean as far as CapEx goes. So this is more of what, showing what's actually happening. All right. So this looks great. Cash flow. Now, we're not showing anything to do with debt service. It is here, though. You can see how much your operational profit is covering debt, but we're not really focused on that much for this business. I believe that's good for our visuals. I think I'm happy with how this looks. Let's bring these up a little bit because we don't really have spaces in the top part. So let's make them all look like that. Okay. Yeah, these are really, really nice visuals. It all looks congruent. You can see a lot of aspects of the business with this. Explain what's going on. Now, let's format the rest of these so they match my formatting there. We can add our custom formatting as well for the data labels. Custom. Now this is revenue. Okay, we're gonna have to use a fancy one for this, so I believe it was that one that works with a negative as well. I believe this one. Let me make sure. So if this was negative, yeah, that is the one that works. Okay. Outline black. Now this. Okay, that's good. Total units under management. What color did I make these backgrounds? 3 down. Looking uniform and congruent is very important for just overall professional presentation. Okay, so that's good. That's good. Now we gotta update these to match. I really wish I could do rounded edges. Won't work though for the format. And that font needs to be black. Okay, now we're talking. So that'll work. Now, let's see, do I make these bold? Yes, that looks better, bold. So we've got a really cool model with a lot of awesome logic, and now we've got awesome visualizations in here as well. And I'll be posting this up later today as completed and ready to go live for purchase. Probably $75 one-time fee on this one. I wish Excel would do the automatic like line adjusting when you're trying to move charts around in position to other charts, where it makes it automatically on like the same line, so it's easier to match up. I think we did pretty good there though. Okay, so that's great. Let's do this one, and we should be all set. Make sure I didn't have any messages. Nope. All right. 2, 3. Let's give them some data labels. We do need the fancy one for negatives. All right. Okay, now hold on a second. Was this based on the first gray or the second gray in there? Also, let's make these a little, well, what happens if we make these less 134? Hmm. Okay. Yeah, we got to make these a little actually thinner because you can't tell between the years what's going on. Let's go back to like 150. There we go. Okay, that's better. What font? 10? Okay, perfect. Looking clean. Great. I think we're done. There's no other visuals in here. Everything looks real nice. And yep, what a trip that was. I got so much more to do. I've got to do the next template I'm gonna do is adding general partner catch-up logic to some of the. We'll probably add it just to the main cash flow IRR hurdle joint venture distribution thing. And then I want to do a database for quoting quote versus actual for like construction jobs. And then I have one more thing. What was the last thing I wanted to do? Let me look at my notes. Car wash. I wanted to add a membership module for car wash, the car wash model. All right. If you want to check out more, go to smarthelping.com. Remember, you can buy all the templates I've ever built. If you go to the Financial Models tab at the top for $9.99, and that includes anything I ever build in the future as well. If you ever want to refresh, just send me over an email, and I'll give you the latest versions of everything in a zip. Alrighty, take it easy, and I don't know what my streaming schedule is like, but um, we'll see if I can get those things out here before the end of the month.